Okay. So we did introduction on Klal Test, which is going to talk about when is one allowed to speak Rechilos, right? And the whole sugi of Toelis, obviously. So let's start with Sif Aleph. You see that your friend wants to go into business with another. And your evaluation of the situation is that he's certainly going to lose on it. It's not going to be a good deal for him. That's his evaluation that it's bad. So he has to tell him. You don't say no, Rechilos. No, he has to tell him that to protect him. But before you could say it, before you could tell him, you have to be able to fulfill 5 conditions, and he's going to explain. The Chavetz Chaim is going to explain each one. The Elohein Sifbeit. Number 1, Yizar Ma'oid. You should be very careful. Take You got to make sure that your evaluation, your assessment of the situation is correct. Don't be quick to decide it. Raki's brain and hate him at give it a lot of thought. Imu bet samra if it's actually bad. Number 2, hey, shaliaktiv sipur sinyan ara yosem mashu. You're not allowed to exaggerate. When you tell him, you have to tell him exactly what you envision as a problem, a loss, etc., that could be incurred if he goes into partnership with that person. Number 3, gimel shiachav and rakut. Your intention has to be pure. It has to be for the benefit. And you can't say it. It sounds like even if it would be a toelis, but if you're saying it because you don't like that person, you're angry at him, you have some grievance with him, and now you find that you could get him back by blocking the partnership, let's say, that's being formed. So you're not allowed to say it. What's going to happen with the person who's going to get hurt? There's a Rebbeinu Shalom in the world. But was that Prat Gimel, in parentheses, adds the Chavetz Chaim into this Prat. If a gam can oidin acher, it includes another thing. Shemavad hakavana shechaven l'tayelas. Besides, his intent that it should be for tayelas, blame it tatzina, not because of a grievance. He's finding the feeling and covering with tayelas. You have to also evaluate: will the tayelas happen? Lafuke to exclude me mashemotze kama pamim. He says what's common is Shafiu Yemraloi, that even if you go and tell this person, you know that Ruvain, I know that you want to go into partnership with Ruvain, I know you want to hire Ruvain for a job, etc., but I'm telling you, I know that it's not good for you. Yeah. But many times, and your intention is to tell us, you want to help. You want to help Levi and shouldn't get hurt from Ruvain. But many times Levi won't listen. Lo Yishmalo. Levi won't accept it, he won't listen. And he'll go into the whether he's blinded by the potential of success, whatever it is, Levi goes on with that deal. And then after Ruvain, let's say, gets Levi upset, Ruvain does something to Levi, Levi responds, Yitzchak was right when he told me I shouldn't have made the deal with you. So now, what has happened? Levi has said Rechilos. When Levi tells Reuven, who's his partner, now I should have listened to Yitzchak, who told me about you, that it's not a good idea to make this partnership, not a good idea to make this shit up, not a good idea to hire you. He was right. I should have listened to him. So now he's saying Rechilos about Yitzchak, that Yitzchak told him something bad. So Lanoshim ke'elushu makira. If you know that that's Levi's personality, that if something happens, he's going to shoot back. Yesh lahem mida razul derechis, that he speaks rechis, he doesn't mind. Lo yitzur shum heter, so there's no heter. As much as Yitzchak wants to protect Levi and he's doing it for pure intentions, but if Yitzchak understands Levi's personality and if Levi gets pushed by Ruvain, Levi will tell Ruvain that Yitzchak spoke about him, then you're not allowed to tell. Then Yitzchak is not allowed to tell Levi. You machshil as I bring alolu loitaseg more derechis, because Yitzchak is going to be doing the fnei evil as he ten mitchell. And number four, what's the fourth condition? And we yachal the Sabbath tells us that meblishi tztach the guys of fun of inyan of raw ain't a sapra. If you could, so to speak, sabotage the deal in some other way, and you wouldn't have to tell Levi what Ruvain is or says or plans on doing, you could mess up the deal some other way. Then you're not allowed to tell Levi that Ruvain is such and such. You have to sabotage the deal some other way. And finally, number five, kosa eina mutarak im lo yisura adei hasipu ra mamish lanidoin. Then shlo yero my mamish rak shetusa many days ahatoyu. It's only if by when you tell over the story, it will not cause Ruvain a loss. You know, Ruvain wants to make a partnership with Levi. You feel it's a bad idea, and you want to tell Levi not to go into business with Ruvain. So he's saying it's only mutter if Ruvain won't get hurt from your story. Then if your achilles can only affect that Levi, let's say, shouldn't give you the loan, Levi shouldn't go into partnership with you. But if in some way by you telling Levi it's going to cause a real active loss to Ruvain, then you're not allowed to tell him. After Memela Davasahu, even though it is bad, a woman. If you know that he's not going to get any, of course, he's not going to get the gain he would have gotten because Levi's not going to make the partnership and Levi had the capital, to invest. So, yes, he won't get that gain, but as long as he doesn't get a loss from what you said, you're allowed to tell him. However, if Reuven will now be hurt by telling the story to Levi, also a saprolov, you're not allowed to talk about it. In order to be able, in such a case, to say the Rechidus, you have to fulfill a few more conditions. And with Hashem's help, He will explain it. I will explain it. Hey and Vav. Choshkein Huraya, and certainly if he sees Shisave de Sipur Lanidim Ro Rabbi Yosef Mikvi Hadin, Dasal Saprolov, and come on, B'sif, hey, if I tell Levi, not only is Levi just gonna turn down the deal, not hire him, but Levi's gonna go beat him up. Levi's gonna go, send the stooges after him, which is not halachically what's coming to Ruvain. Then your mom's not allowed to tell Levi that Ruvain did such a thing or wants to do such a thing. Okay, so that's Hilchas Rechila so far. And now Shmiras haLashon in the back. Talking here about Hashem protects those who live with his bitochen, live in his bitochen. So he says over here in Perik Yud Aleph, Chof Vav Teves, in Sharach Tabuna. What is this that we're describing comparable to the Ish Shabbanim Sabrim al Shabbat? A person whose family, his children are sitting at his table, v'chelek monos l'chilek monos kol echad v'echad mibanav, and he passed around a portion to each one of his children. One of the brothers grabbed before the, let's say it's being passed around the table. He grabbed his portion. Now, the one who lost his portion now because one of the brothers took it went to the father of Omar. He said, Ovi, my father, I asked my brother to give back my portion, and he doesn't want. I know, but I know that you don't want us to fight. He took my portion. I can't get it back from him, but I know that your desire is that we should not fight. So I'm asking you, Daddy, give me a different portion. I don't want to fight with him. I know that's not what you want. When his father hears this scenario, he kissed him. He gave him a larger portion. And he said to him, well, I skipped the line. You found favor in my eyes. Because you good midos. Instead of taking revenge, instead of fighting over it, in my honor, you chose not to respond. Let your brother, the foolish brother, take your portion. And next time we get together, I'll give you double. And to him, the one who ripped it off, I won't give him a portion at all. Uh, if the son that was ripped off won't act this way, rather he'll get into a fight with the brother. And they'll hit each other in front of the father. Even if the story's the same, that brother was correct. He was ripped off. The other one grabbed his portion. Still, the father is not going to be a happy camper. Yisna Shneim Yachano hate both of the brothers. And what will he say to justify punishing both brothers? Excuse me, I didn't read it right. Even though he's correct, the father is not going to be happy with this. And he'll be angry at both of them because they're quarreling, they're fighting. Rather, and he'll say, should have asked me, but another person. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You won't believe it, but I fell asleep. The father is not going to be happy if they're fighting. It doesn't matter who was right, who was wrong. And the father will say, why didn't you just come and ask me for another portion? I would have joyously given it to you. Rather than you should fight and hit each other, Lena in front of me, because of such foolish things. Says the Chavetz Chaim, that was a mushroom. This is exactly what we're talking about here. Hashem gives all his creations sustenance. Right? Who Avin Shal Yisrael. So he's Klal Yisrael's father, and they're his children. As the Pasuk says, Banim Matem, what sign of rights of Ishlam? Certainly Hashem wants their peace. They shouldn't be fighting. And he writes about Hashem doesn't want them fighting. Ukamoi, these are B'Tanur Be'Elio, as it says in the Tanur Be'Elio, Perkov Ches, haLashon, and we quote, Amal HaMakadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. Hashem said to Klal Yisrael, Bonai Ahubai, my dear sons, Klum Chasati Dover Shavakesh Mekem. Did I leave anything out? I guess in the Bria that I'm asking you. Umani Ravakshchem. So what do I ask from you? Elishtiu Oyavim says Chavdim says that you should love each other, you should respect each other. V'limotze b'chem avera v'geson. You shouldn't have to do any averas. L'chein she'adam echad nageh be'esik shel chaveri. Therefore, when somebody touches, he hurts someone's business. And you ask the guy to stop doing it. You're hurting my business. And he's not willing to. He doesn't accept what you're asking him. Um, and he comes to Hashem. Someone hurt him in his business. And he went to the person, and the person continues doing it. And he turns to Hashem and he davens, that Hashem should give him a makeup, so he doesn't have to argue and fight with the other guy. You certainly find favor for Hashem, in Hashem's eyes for that. As the Gemara Chulin says, what is the pasuk in the ears? Tola Eretz al Belima. And the Gemara Darshans, Ami Ha'ilam Kayim, and who does the world exist? Ami Shabayim is Piv B'Shas Meriva, someone who can hold himself back when he's in the middle of an argument. Usually there you lose it, you can't control yourself. V'avur b'tchani b'Hashem v'yitin l'zeh, apayim Hashem will give you double fold if you do that. Okay. Yashakayach everybody. Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. We'll continue.